Last night, I went to bed really late because I was playing around with the Divi 5 demo. This is amazing. It is super fast, but in fact, you know what? Let me not say too much. Let me just show you what I was able to find. So first of all, if we take a look at the interface here, it looks absolutely different and it's very modern. Now, if we wanted to add some elements in here, we'll click here. Now, notice how all this has changed. It now looks really nice and it's very modern, like I said. So let's say I wanted to add 2 columns. I can just go in and do that. And notice how fast it is. You know, once I start adding things in here, things are just so snappy. You know, it's unbelievable how fast this is. So again, if I want to add a blurb in there, but you know what I found very exciting is the fact that, you know how before we used to click on a module and then we need to click out of it to add another one. This time, notice what happens. The workflow is totally different. So if I go into the gear icon here to go into my settings, you notice that we have this panel here on the right. And by the way, you can dock it wherever you want. So if you prefer to have this over here, for example, you can just bring it over like that. And you can dock it here if you wanted to. So notice that when I click here on this gear icon, this is open. I can now go to my design. I can go into my text. I can align it center and so on. But what's important is if I come over here now, notice what happens. I'm now into the circle counter settings. I did not need to close the blurb modules or the blurb module settings for me to go into the next one. And this is a huge time saver. If you look at all these other page builders out there, that is pretty much how they works. So I can just go into any item here and start designing right away. If I click on that, notice that now we are in the blurb settings. In fact, let me just change this again. Let's add something different. Let's say this time we are going to add a call to action. So without closing anything, I can just click here on this gear icon, and then I'm going to go straight into my call to action settings right here. Fantastic. And I really like this. I know it may seem like something very small, but this for me is huge. All right. So let's say you close out of here like that. So right now it's over here. If you see this blue line, you can dock it, and now it is over there docked, which is fantastic. The other update or the other change that I've seen, which I think is crazy amazing, is the fact that we can now go into our mobile view and our mobile settings, and we can pretty much customize everything on this tablet on whatever module I go into. For example, if I'm here in my blurb settings, I can go in here and customize a few things. Maybe I can go to my design and let's go to my text size, and let's say I want to increase this a little bit like that. Now notice that this is happening while I'm here. If I go now into my call to action, I can do that. And notice that I'm still here in this icon here. Before I needed to go into each and every setting for me to make a change in that. It was very time consuming, and sometimes you'll forget. So this now is fantastic. I can go to my design here. I can go to my text, and it's already centered. So let's say I want to go to my body text, increase the size a little bit. So these are the settings for my mobile. Now, if I wanted to go into my, let's say phone, now notice that all my settings here are for the phone. So let me reduce this like that. And now let's say I go back in here into my blurb settings. I can again come to my design. And while I'm here, I can make my changes for the mobile. So it has become very easy now for us to design for mobile without going into all those little sliders and hovering over it and making sure that you make your adjustments there. So this is a huge update. And Nick, if you're watching this, this is fantastic. You know, good job. Okay, now let's say I want to delete everything. I can just come over here as normal, delete all of that, and it's gone. What I found also very exciting was the fact that if I wanted to add my pre-made layouts, we no longer have this expand settings over here on the bottom. Now we have this plus button, but look at this. This now adds our layout. So we have now all our layouts. And if I wanted to add, for example, this one here, I just click on it. It shows me all the pages that come with this layout. And this is fantastic. I mean, just look at that. It is now neat. It's very easy to navigate. And if I click on here, I mean, it doesn't just add it onto the page right away, but it shows you a preview of what this menu looks like, or this blog, or whatever page it is that you're looking at. Now, once you're happy with that, you can just go in and then click on it, and then it's added. So now I'm going to say use this layout. And just like that, it's going to be imported onto my page and I can go ahead and start customizing it. Now it's time to talk about dark mode. Dark mode is also pretty cool. So if I come over here and click on this little icon, you can see now everything is in dark mode and it pretty much works really well. So we're going to work in dark mode for a moment now. Something else I also find very exciting was the fact that we have this X-ray. So this X-ray now, it pretty much shows us all the boundaries of all our modules and also our sections and rows. So it makes it easier for us to visualize even the settings or the spaces between everything. I think this is pretty cool as well. So as you can see here, as I'm scrolling down, you can see that this X-ray is working really well. Okay, so moving on, we also have this little icon here. This is the wireframe view. Now, to be honest, I'm not a fan of wireframe view, and if you look at the other page builders, they don't have the wireframe view because pretty much everything that you need is there visually for you. So I think this is just something extra that is not really needed. I don't know, I may be wrong. What do you guys think? Do you like the wireframe view? Or you are just happy to design your website in the visual editor? Okay, anyway, like I said, I'm not a fan of this. I'm going to get rid of it. And I'm also going to switch back over here to my normal mode. Now, as we have this here open, like I said, we also have layers. Now layers are also very important, and this I think is what's going to replace the wireframe view because you can see pretty much everything here in this tear down. Okay, so if I go to my first section here, I can really drill down here and go to any little item that I want to really target. So if I click here, you can see that it's my text I've selected, this is my heading, this is my other text, and this is my image. So it is very easy for me to find this. Now we notice that this type of design here is also there in Elementor. It's also there in Gutenberg, and I think Bricks Builder as well. So this again is moving with the times, which is fantastic if you need it. So that's the layers. You can also toggle them and get rid of them, and now you have more real estate on your screen. Okay, now moving on. We can also export our layout. So you notice now that this is where our import export is. I'm not sure if it's working right now, but if I click on export layout, this should definitely export it. And by the way, it has just worked. So I think that is also very, very good. Here we have our page settings. So if we just go to our section settings here, and let's say you want to go to your pages, this is now has become your page settings. So everything now has been put in the right places. So it may take a bit of time to find out where things are, but within a couple of I'd say within half an hour, you'll have pretty much adapted to this, and it'll be very easy for you to find where everything is. But I really like this because here with the page settings, I can click on that, and now I can go in and change the page title. I can add my excerpt here. I can also go into my design and change my spacing, the text, the gutter, and everything. Now let me just do that so you can see. Do you notice that the gutter changed now? Okay, it's changing. We also have the advanced here. We can add our custom CSS as well. Now also this here also docks. You notice that there's a line there. So if I just push it over here, you notice that now it is docked over here. So you can pretty much drag it and dock it wherever you want. As long as you see that white or that line, you're able to just dock it. So this is actually very, very easy to use. And this is going to save us a lot of time as we're designing our web pages. And I'm going to be very excited when they start adding all the AI and all that fun stuff. But so far, I'm sure you can agree with me that this UI, it is super exciting. It's very, very clean, very, very easy to use. And I like the fact that when you click on something here, the settings panel for that particular module is what comes up. Whether it's a section, you know, you can see here now you have your section settings. In here, you can go into your designs, spacing, everything is pretty much there for you. So my take on this is a very, very important update, and this approach of designing a page builder is really, really good. I mean, what Divi was able to do over the years was to have a UI that looks really, really clean and really, really nice. And even though it's a huge change when it comes to the UI, is actually a good change, and the change is there for the better. And this now has given me even more confidence that Divi is serious about the future. Now, for those of you who haven't signed up for the Divi membership, you need to do so, because if the price changes, you are definitely going to regret. I mean, this is the time now to go for your lifetime license. I have a link in the video description below. I am going to be doing some courses on Divi 5. I will be doing all sorts of websites, integrations, how Divi 5, you know, it's easy for us to design, let's say, membership websites, funnel building, and all of that kind of stuff. I'll be doing a lot of this because I realize that right now is not the good time for me to keep doing tutorials on Divi 4 if we know that the future is now Divi 5. So I'm just hanging in there. Once we get the beta and it's out there, that's when I'm going to start making tutorials. I'm going to start making courses and all that good stuff. So if you purchase Divi here, I'm also going to give you access to Divi University, so you can be a part of the Divi University. Now, there's also something else that I need to mention, and that is we might be getting Flexbox and CSS Grid in Divi 5. So again, this is something that's huge because I'm not really a fan of these old school layouts. I mean, the moment once you start using Flexbox, you can't go back because it is so easy to design complex layouts with CSS Grid and Flexbox. So that coming to Divi is going to be huge. I can't wait for the final versions of Divi for me to start creating new tutorials, new websites, and so on. Anyway, guys, what do you think about what you've seen in Divi 5 so far? Let me know in the comments box below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.